to the foundation of the music, to all the godfathers who set it.
The godfathers who set it, musically speaking. Lloyd Stanberry, one of the godfathers of musically speaking. We both started this program more than a quarter century ago. Put it that way. And we're back with it. And at this stage, you know, on musically speaking, we deal with the greats, the legends. And the man I am introducing to you is a man who is a real legend. When I tell you that this man basically is one of the great pioneers of rocksteady. You see, Duke Reed's Treasure Isle, and that produced some of the great rocksteady songs, Willow Tree, and I mean, you name it. Jackie Jackson behind those songs. Some of the classics of that era. And we could, if we start listing those songs, would spend days and nights and months and weeks just talking about just how great this man is. And I mean, he has other people with him in that era that just did some fabulous things. That, to me, Lloyd, that period of rocksteady in Jamaica's music history is one of the most flourishing periods. And, you know, there was great musicianship. These people were top of the pops in terms of what they were doing. And they transitioned from ska and moved it into rocksteady. And some of them went on with the reggae. And some even straddled the dancehall thing. You know, some people might have been lost along the way, but in the end, things really have turned out pretty good. And the man I am going to introduce to you on this program is one of those legends. But let's hear some of what he might have produced over the years. The man from Summerton in St. James, James Chambers, a.k.a. Jimmy Cliff. The Harder They Come from the movie of the same name. That movie changed the trajectory of Jamaican music. You know, in 1972, The Harder They Come introduced reggae really into the United States. So it's an important vehicle for the transmission of our culture. And online, I have a legend who has been responsible for many hits like these. The Harder They Come is just, you know, one of many that he would have been associated with. This man, I can't speak enough about him, is a person who I really revere in music and as a person. Jackie Jackson, are you there, sir?
Clyde, how you do?
I'm good, sir, Jackie. Always great to talk to you.
Some serious words you throw down there, no, Clyde.
No, but it's the truth. You know, I have to talk the truth, you know, sir. It's the truth.
Yes.
And
It's the bridge.
The
you have to be truthful.
So, the thing is, you were there, you know, at such a critical phase of Jamaican music. Now, I want you to kind of describe for me what it was like working with the Duke of all people. You understand me, Lloyd? I mean, when I can remember as a little child, my grandmother used to come and pick me up at Bond Street, right at St. Anne's School, you know, and she would take me down to the Coronation Market, you know, and take me back up to school, you know, because she would go down to buy stuff for food. And I used to see this man. You know, I didn't know who he was because I was a small child.
So you drove down Bond Street and up back.
No, I just no. She would walk. She would come and pick me up and just walk to carry me down,
Okay.
and just walk back and drop me off. You know, it was all little afternoon
Walking
ritual.
distance. Yeah.
You know, but I was a small child and I saw this man, but I didn't know who he was. I saw this man. He was a fearsome man because
very intimidating.
yeah, very intimidating because I see this man with this big gun and a long gun and a shotgun.
Yes,
I mean, I was
yes,
scared as a
yes.
little child, and
Yes.
you know he used to wear these big chains and all of that.
Mm-hmm.
That was Duke Reed. I later learned that was a music legend,
Yes.
one
yes.
of the great pioneers. Tell me
Jamaican
what
music.
it was because you were Duke Reed's point man. I mean, yeah, Tommy McCook and the Supersonics was the band, but you were his point man, and when you say something, it means something. Jackie Jackson. Tell me a little bit about that.
All right. Well, Clyde, why this story down the end, some I don't want your listeners will get bored and turn off the radio,
You a talk, man. Them can't get bored.
Well, this all started from becoming a member of Tommy McCook and the Supersonics.
Mm-hmm.
So why this is 19 years of age, and the afro is 1 mile long, So one night after we finished playing at Chabafana in Rockford, Tom McCook came up to me and said, we're having a recording session tomorrow at 10 at Duke Reed. By this time, poor little me at 19 years of age, we don't know nothing about them, something there. But guess what? There was no bass player around. Everybody had left. Scatterlights broke up, and that is how Tommy McCook formed Tommy McCook and the Supersonics, and I became the bass man for the band. And then Lloyd Brevet went elsewhere. The other Lloyd, he migrated, so there was no bass player around.
But Brevet was playing the double bass, the big bass.
Upright, yes.
And so you were playing the upright too?
I started on the upright in music class, and then the music shift from jazz and all of that to pop and R&B, and that's where the bass guitar came into play. But Brevet could not play the bass guitar, so he kind of went off the scene.
Back off, yes.
Yeah, so I grabbed my little Fender jazz bass, went to Duke Reed studio. The session was 10. I was there from 9 o'clock. Go upstairs, sit down, wait. Tommy came, everybody came. I was introduced to Duke. And John, well, like you say, Clyde, very intimidating, The double barrel rifle is over his shoulder, and there's a 38 strap to his waist,
and the cap.
And the cap, yes, the Congal.
The Congal, yes.
But you see, in an environment like that in West Kingston, you are running a liquor store, so you have to have that look.
Yeah, because this is Western Kingston, Charles Street and Bond Street.
Yes, but guess what, Clyde? You see them days, oh God, man, you could walk anywhere and go anywhere. You were safe. Nobody couldn't do nothing. Everything was nice and lovely. So the session was about to start. In walk Alton Ellis. This is the first time I'm seeing Alton Ellis.
Like you hearing them story there.
So
Lloyd Stanberry is there here.
Oh, Sir Stan, how you do, sir?
I'm doing good, man. I'm just here
Good,
listening
wonderful.
to you and taking in everything.
So Alton starts singing, and this was Girl I've Got a Date.
Boom,
And he
boom,
sang-
boom. And the bass, one of the wickedest bass line that you play, Sir Jackie. Doom, 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 boom.
But you see, that for me, that bass line and that song has a soft spot in my heart because that was my first recording session ever, and the first one at Treasure Isle. So when Alton sang the song, and we're ready to record now. When we run it down, I said to everybody, I want to play the introduction. Well, Clyde, the whole studio fall in silence, you know. And Tommy McCook jump up and say, no, are you crazy? Play what introduction? No bass don't play introduction. Whenever you hear bass playing introduction. Well, they said Tommy is Duke, musical director, you know. But guess what Tommy didn't even know all these years that he was associated with Duke. Duke's first instrument is the bass, you know, Clyde.
Yeah, him can, what, Duke could have played bass?
No, him couldn't play.
Oh.
Out of all of the
Oh, I'm favorite instrument that. Oh, yeah. Okay. I love the bass, yes.
But he never said it's to anybody. It's
Yes.
today, no big and learn this. So, we're there arguing. No, Clyde, can you imagine me at 19 years of age?
Yeah, argue with Tommy McCook.
Going toe-to-toe with the great Tommy McCook. But I wasn't showing off. I wasn't being not at all. I just felt inside of me that this song must have this introduction. And Tommy said, no, this can't work. And we stood there for an hour and a half arguing. And then Duke came up the stairs and said, what is going on? It's an hour and a half now and I don't hear anything. Tell me what is happening. Tommy said, Duke, Jackie want to play the introduction for the song. And, you know, we can do it. It can't work. Not don't go so. And believe you me, Duke turned around now, you know, Clyde, with the double barrel over and shoulder, you know. The 38 time race and turned to me. And believe you me, I'm not lying.
Yes, sir, tremble.
Reason, no.
Okay.
For some reason, I was at, I don't know what it was. It was must have me and the Lord was sitting in the corner. And Duke said to me, mark it out, him want to be loyal to Tommy, you know.
I'm band leader.
Tommy is a musical director for years. And is the first time I see me. But guess what? In the back of his head, you know, bass is his instrument. So, to be fair to both of us now, you know what Duke said? Like a diplomat. He said, all right, play the song with me here, you know? Play the introduction. And then Hux Brown, the great Hux Brown.
The great guitarist Hux Brown.
The great Hux Brown turned to me and said, come, Jackie, let me never play the introduction with you. Well, Jesus. Like, Clyde, just when Paul Douglas count off, and then me Hux Brown go, dun 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 dun. Clyde, let me
but that bass line, they have a whole heap of history.
Holy.
Yeah, you need to people teeth that bass line too.
Yes, but it's all right. It's quite all right. You saw when we play it and Alton come in and say, girl, I've got a date. No. You saw when a song, when you play a song and you start dance, that means you might look a funny way of skanking there, you know.
Well, funny skank.
When you start dance, that means him like the song. You see when him draw the 38,
and let it go.
that means is a hit song him have.
Yes.
You see when him take the double barrel off him shoulder and go so blue doom the two barrel up one time on the roof. That stood on at one point that stood never have no roof in a Clyde. When rain fall, we couldn't keep no such thing. Pure hole. You see when you got a blood dome in the roof. Jesus, man, well, pandemonium, you know.
I hope Kevin have girl I've got a date, you know, and you have to find that.
Clyde, no, you have to play that to your listeners, you know.
Yeah, man. No, have to find it. No, have to find that.
It with one cut, you know, one cut. And Clyde, that time, you know, Joke sound system used to play up at Chocomore Lawn, you know, West Kingston, every Sunday night.
Yes.
Dance used to keep there. And Cuttings was the
Cuttings
DJ.
Cole, that is
Yes.
Stranger Cole's brother.
Right.
Yeah, Cuttings go.
Cuttings was the DJ.
Yeah, Cuttings go America go live. Yes.
You see, when we done the session, that time Duke have him fishtail Buick, you know. The whole, I never know, do you believe say 11 man could have hold now fishtail Buick, Clyde? 11 away.
Buick Skylark.
The session with Duke round his steering, drive, lock up the store, shut down, and drive up at Chocobo Lawn. By this time, Chocobo Lawn caught, you know. And
Chocomo Lawn was run by Wellington Street. It was controlled by Mr. Siaga. Yes, man. It was an important point in terms of our culture, because people like Dennis Brown and many of these other artists used to go around there, and people like you and I mean musicians, and everybody was going around there. So it was kind of like a cultural center.
It's a cultural. It's a big night there every Sunday, you know. Every Sunday is a big night. And Mr. Siaga was always there. That was him spot on a Sunday, you know. And Edward Siaga is the first man I've ever seen in a bandland. A red bandland. You know, you remember them gangs?
Yes, it make out a kind of oily material, shiny. Yeah, man. My old man used to have him bandland them, man.
My dream when me grew up was to own a bandland, you know.
Yeah, man, but no, my old man was a dopes, you know. So him wear him always having bandland and thing, you know.
And I never stopped until I owned one.
Through the Duke.
So that night, yes, man, that night, Duke and the 11 hours walked into Chocomo Land, Duke with the dub plate, you know. With Girl, I've Got a Date. And then Gito Cuttings and said, play this. Clyde, listen to me carefully now. It's 13 times that song played before Cuttings could have taken it off of the turntable.
The great Cuttings, man. 13
times. Every time it fade and I go in, the crowd lift up. You must have start it over again.
Boy, I miss Cuttings, you know. I used to, every time I go to New York, I would have to find Cuttings, you know, and him give me a whole lesson, you know. He would have carry me to some bar.
Make him tell about Girl, I've Got a Date.
No, we want to hear Girl, I've Got a Date. Get me,
you have to play it. You have to play it for this.
Look here, Girl, I've Got a Date. The great Jackie Jackson on bass. Boom, 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 boom. Your first tune is Jackie. That can't be. You can't. No. You can't for your first. No. That can't go so. Your first tune, and that's a classic. So no, something. No, man. I know your first tune, that man. No, man. No. That's a myth. Eh? You don't remember your first tune.
First tune, Girl, I've Got a Date, man. Jesus. Classic. Still, I want to get a joke, you know, Clyde. When the tune played the 13th time, you know,
Chocomo Land.
Someone could come over to me and say, "Why, BSC? Why the tune wicked? The intro wicked. I'm glad you never bow down. I'm glad you never back down."
but Jackie,
and from there on, Rockstar was born, and that was it. Because Girl, I've Got a Date was the toning down of ska into Rocksteady, you know.
So, Girl, I've Got a Date, you would say that is a transition point from ska to Rocksteady. But what role you would say Lynn Tate played in that transition from Rocksteady from ska to Rocksteady?
So it's a big one, pivotal role, Clyde. It was Lynn Tate and Ox Brown all along, you know.
Mm-hmm. Ox.
Lynn Tate was playing ska on this, you know, and Ox playing the lead. And then on another session, Ox would be skying and Lynn Tate playing the lead.
So Lynn is a Trinidadian. Lynn is a Trinidadian guitarist who we must honor because his contribution. I don't think we have really accepted and appreciated the role that Lynn Tate played in Jamaican music,
especially in the rocksteady and the reggae. Big role, big, huge, Clyde, huge.
No,
Believe you me.
no, but Lloyd, I mean, you hear Jackie saying, boy, people thief, girl, I've got a date, and I mean, because the situation with girl, I've got a date is that bass line, right, and that intro has been used in a lot of songs all over, and no credit has been attributed, right, Jackie?
Mhm. Yeah, true.
But as
But,
as
yeah.
you said that, it struck me for the first time. It struck me for the first time because as you said it and you played it, I started thinking about
I'll take you there.
Liquidator.
I'll take
Yeah.
you there. Yes,
Liquidator,
and
I'll take
and
you
I'll
there.
take you there.
I said,
Yes,
wow,
yes.
I never realized that until you said it. Seriously.
Well, there's one, and I mean, it is not just. I think that's a question of not acknowledging at all the creators of that. So it is not even a question of deciding whether these people should have been compensated. No acknowledgement has
Acknowledgement
been
Has been
given
made.
for
Yeah,
this.
yeah. That's true.
You know, and this is why the story of people like Jackie Jackson has to be told, because I mean the body of work that these men have created, and in many instances Jamaicans don't know that. I mean, it's people like the great Jackie Jackson who make them music. Hawks Brown, people don't know about Hawks Brown. People don't know about Drumbago. Tell me a little bit about Drumbago.
Yeah, yes. John Beergo. Okay.
Auckland Park.
Auckland Park. Yeah, man. He had a great role to play in the Rockstar, And you know how come? When I was 19, 20, 21 and just come on the scene, by this time John Baker was like in his 50s, 60s,
Yeah?
Yeah. Big man to me, man. Yeah, man. Could have been my grandfather. But guess what? John Baker could not keep up
With the
tempo.
ska. With the ska, yes.
Couldn't. So when there's a whole tune, some yes, if you can ask the producer if you can find Phyllis Dillon. If you knew that yes,
you
man.
wouldn't stay away.
That wasn't the tempo, but the songs when we started out with, Is John Baker is playing, bring it down to that, and I will just say, you know what? We're not gonna get it no faster, So make it stay right there. And right out of that was part of our the Rocksteady. It was.
Yeah, because Nibs was really the man who was the scare man.
Scare man.
Like Nibs.
But when Nibs could not come down to the rock. That is where Paul Douglas they come in now.
Okay.
Yes, because Paul Douglas, Mark, when I started with Tama Cook, when Satellite broke up, Lloyd Nibs, Johnny Moore went with Tama Cook to form Supersonics.
Mm-hmm.
So that was where I get my schooling from. It's University of McGann, right? To say
Yes.
But on the session, them know when it was rocks at the time, it was difficult for Nibs to come down to the rhythm to play so slow. So then Paul Douglas came on the scene.
Because Nib, I mean, Rocksteady was more bass driven than ska. Yes. And so Nib had a challenge with that, right?
Yes.
And
so
Drumbago had a problem managing the tempo for ska, and so he resorted. Yeah. So, well, that's how it is. That's how it is.
Yes. So he had a big.
One second. Let's just take a break. One quick break there, Sir Jackie. Boy, this is intriguing. 1:32, and it's musically speaking, and what a discussion. Lloyd Stanberry is here with me, and so is Jackie Jackson. I mean, what a panel.
Clyde, ask your producer and your technical person to find the Phyllis Dillon song.
The Phyllis Dillon, yep.
You listen at half a year drum beaver.
Yeah, drum beaver. All right. I think you find it. You will stay away. You will stay away, right?
Yeah.
You will. Yes.
Play a couple of things.
Yeah. Pop it up if you lose. Yeah.
Right.
All right. You have it. You have it, Kevin. Go on then. Phyllis Dillon. Jackie Jackson.
Faster than that, Clyde.
But drum beaver couldn't keep the peak.
We took 100 million cuts out, and it could not get any faster than that. And then we just, like Duke just say, all right, leave it.
So
and when he released it, rotted.
So you see how some of these great songs were accidental because
yes.
You have songs where people telling you, no, we're not recording that, and you have to fight to get it on. Mm-hmm. And it come out to be a classic. And this one again, I mean, basically, they're supposed to go 513 because drum beaver can't keep up to the pace of the thing.
True.
No. The kind of experience, though, that you're talking about, Jackie, is one in which you were able to assert yourself from very early because of the special skills that you had. And, I mean, the catalog that Duke has produced is one of the most extensive in the history of modern popular music.
Yeah.
Because some of the artists, now, I mean, there were some artists who never record at all with Coxsone. Some record with Coxsone and Duke. Because what many people don't realize is that the Jamaican modern music industry really came out of sound system rivalry.
Yes.
Because it was people trying to supply unique and special material for their sound systems that really gave rise to the sound system, both Duke Reid and Coxsone.
Yeah.
And you would have played on a lot of those songs that Duke Reid would have used to burn Coxsone.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me about some of them songs there.
Well, the entire Rocksteady era belonged to Duke and Clyde.
Yes.
There was Phyllis Dillon, Houston Lewis. Don't matter about Alton Nelson.
Alton, because all of the Alton.
Come do
Rocksteady.
Paragons.
Yeah.
Melodians. Techniques. Sensation. That was the whole of the Rocksteady era,
Yes.
Duke shut down everybody, All Coxsone,
Then warm to Mr. Kong, Leslie. Him never. Leslie more reggae.
No, Leslie was reggae. It was like Rocksteady, man.
Right. So it was really the Duke who had the whole thing to himself.
Yes, man.
No, we should try and find the anthem for the Rocksteady era. Alton Ellis.
You better get ready.
You
have to find
Jackie,
that.
Hey, when you sit down and when you sit down and imagine, say, you play upon all of them tune now. Yes, you're a critical. What you say to yourself? Talk to me. What you say to yourself? When you sit down and you hear the basis of Jamaican music and all of them classics here. What you say to yourself?
You just feel nice and warm and happy. And you say to yourself, boy, I am happy that I was able to contribute to the Jamaican music.
No, Lloyd. Just imagine a man sit down at home and the almost the entire Rocksteady era, right? And it's not just Duke, but Jackie, because Jackie was right there. Can you just think about that and just imagine the role that this man played in Jamaican music? And many Jamaicans are lost to it. We're not documenting properly, Lloyd.
Yeah, yeah, and what we're doing right here now is very important, Clyde, because if we don't pass on the knowledge of, the origins of this great musical tradition that is recognized globally coming out of Jamaica, if we don't pass this information, this knowledge on to the younger generation, they won't really have a good sense of the value of our music. And I think, that is what has been happening to us. Why we find, and a lot of people will say, that golden era of Jamaican music is something that happened years ago.
Mm-hmm.
It is because we are not imparting this kind of information onto the
Oh,
younger generation.
yeah.
Yes, so they have no clue.
No, so
They really don't.
we have to bring a Jackie Jackson.
Absolutely, absolutely
The
important for this
anthem. We
kind of
want the
information.
anthem now for Rocksteady.
No,
Alton Ellis. Better get ready. The anthem of the Rocksteady era. Alton Ellis. Better get ready. Come do Rocksteady. Jackie
Man,
Jackson. Jackie Jackson. What a privilege it is to have you on this program today.
no, thanks for the invitation, sir.
No, I mean, come on now. I mean, you're hearing all of these classics, and to think that this man is the man with a thump the bass for them junior. No man, this is unbelievable. Tell me something now. I mean, and I'm not fast in your business now, Sir Jackie.
Yeah.
Right? But we'll talk some serious thing now.
Mm-hmm.
In terms of remuneration, because you would be a composer in many of these songs, technically.
Yeah.
Right? Was it that man just said, "Boy, Jackie Jackson is just Jackie play upon the bass and them credit him," and them don't say Jackie Jackson is a songwriter and a beneficiary of all of these great songs?
No, well, in truth and fact, in them days, boy, Clyde, in them days, there, you could. What was the problem was that nobody on this earth could say reggae was going to be what it is today.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the artists give away them soul for nothing,
Mm-hmm.
Sing all 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 songs and just collect a money of the day and then happy and gone.
Mm-hmm.
And look at reggae today. Nobody never know about copyright and sign contract and this and publishing and all kind of something. No. Just like we guys in our days, we were just musicians. We record for a fee.
Mm-hmm.
And once you get that fee, you get that and you're gone. When a song becomes a hit, you have no claim because you were paid outright for it.
Yeah, them saying them buy out. It's a
Yeah.
work for hire. And,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so you can't go around and say somebody rob you and the money teach you. No. You were paid for something. The only way you could claim now is unless you said to the person, all right, what we're going to do, we're going to play this song, and when it becomes a hit or if it take off, they call it back and we sit down and we sign up something.
Yeah, but all of these classics, because you are technically a songwriter, you are technically a creator of the music. The music never come to you. These songs didn't come to you ready and with a score and thing, and a man say, all right, Jackie, you hold this is a bass line and this and that. It's a situation in which you were a creator of those songs too.
Guess what, Clyde? You're on the right track. Because guess what now? Over the last couple of years, 10 years, 10, 15 years, musicians now, the musicians, us, not the singers or the composers, musicians are being paid royalties now. for
Yes, no,
some,
no, no. In some jurisdiction, particularly in Europe.
yeah,
Yeah,
Europe
that
and
happens.
America.
Yeah, well, I
Europe
think
and America.
America now is just coming into it.
America
Right,
just
Lloyd?
coming into it.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
But
what is
PPL,
happening? Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, sir, Jackie. Or Lloyd, you were
yeah,
saying.
yeah,
No,
go
what I
ahead,
was
Lloyd.
saying, is that they what is happening is that musicians who play on recordings in studio are being compensated for playing.
Public.
Yes.
Yeah,
Hmm.
but I think what Clyde is saying, and I agree with him, is that in addition to being compensated for playing on those recordings, where a musician goes into a session and he plays, whether it be a bass or keyboards, and what he plays comes out of
Head
it's
and his
his
imagination. Yes.
intellect.
Yes.
He's the one who, like, you created those bass
Yeah,
lines.
because I mean,
No
what you'll
one
be
told
getting.
you. No one told you what to play.
Yes.
So you
Yes.
are actually composing
A line.
in
Yes, of
addition to
course.
playing. So
Yes.
you have two sets of rights there. You have a right as a
Yes.
player in the studio, and you have a right as a composer because
Composer.
you created those bass lines.
Line.
And
Yes. That's
as you
true.
rightly say, in those days, no one imagined, yeah, that this little music that you guys were playing in those studios, you create Cox and what have you. No one imagined that Jamaica's music would have grown in that time, would have grown to the
Yes.
point where it became something to dominate the world, so to speak, and
True.
continuing to play and generate revenues. So
Yes.
it's really an unfortunate situation,
So,
you know,
Lloyd.
things transpired that way in that time, where people did not recognize that this is where it was going to be 20, 30, 40, 50 years later. And
Yeah.
these songs are still out there. They're still generating revenues all over the place. And who knows who is benefiting as composers on some of these recordings. Some of the persons who are actually the composers and who never did sign away their rights. Because
Yes.
to
Yes.
give away your
Yes.
rights, you
Is
have to sign a
you have to
document.
sign a document. I mean,
Yes.
it's not a default position. You have to sign it away,
Yes.
right? So it is because what Lloyd is saying is that you might be a beneficiary or musicians are beneficiary from the public performance side of the thing. So when a radio station and so on play, but from the mechanicals in some jurisdiction, maybe they're still not being compensated, and
That's true.
and we need to rectify some of those things. Now, there's so much. I mean, Jackie, I don't think one program can do for you, because your thing to just humongous. Because I want to talk to you about Paul Simon and
Yes.
and mother and child reunion, right? That song to me is a big hit, it's a classic.
Yes. Yes.
But you would have the story because you and Hawks were on that one, right?
Yes.
You and Hawks, the great Hawks, on that
Paul
one.
Douglas, yeah, Radcliffe Bryan, and Gladian. In them days,
It's done at Byron. It was done by Byron, right? Down at Dynamic.
Dynamics.
Dynamics
Yeah.
today is Byron brought Paul Simon to Jamaica. Paul is what he does whenever he's doing an album. He goes to different countries.
Yeah, like when do the Graceland thing and so on. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
So when you see that Mother and Child reunion that you hear there, Clyde, that is not what he came to Jamaica with,
Okay, when he come with a different
All
tune.
right. We were called to the studio the morning. And we rushed. We said, what? Paul Simon? But man, we race got the studio, foot not touch ground, Clyde. And we're going, and Paul come with the music. Man is a gleaner. You know, gleaner have a word for pH. Is a gleaner and take and spread out in front of you, with the song. And, well, of course, we can read it. We can play it because we can play it. And we play and we run it down and we play it. And we play it. And Paul jump and prance and so great, ready. ready to record. But by this time now, the engineer, Carlton Lee sit down there and watch we, you know. And him notice that none of our jump and reel and say wicked and we run it down, we run it down, we run it down, we run it down, we read it, we are read and we are read and we read. And then Carlton say, hold on, 1 minute. And when I say we entering. And so about half an hour, Carlton was nowhere to be found. Then we see Carlton come back and take out Paul out of the studio. And him and Paul, Simon, and Carlton Lee disappear. We don't know where them turn. So we sit down there and say, for what is now. About another half hour again, we see Paul come back, Carlton Lee come back, and the great Byron Lee come in
The
behind
dragon.
them. The dragon himself. Clyde stand, Byron come in, and then take up, you see the music, you see this 10-piece of music sheet where Paul Simon come to Jamaica with?
Take it and dash it away.
Byron take it up and fold it up and in a bugler fling in one corner. And set up Paul. Paul in Jamaica. Reggae is not from a piece of paper. You know. It don't come from off a piece of paper. It comes
From the heart.
From the heart.
Hey, we have to hear.
By this time, no, poor Paul. When you see music at tear up and dash it, you just stand up and I wonder what the hell, where this is going.
You know what?
By this time, no, we run on the tune so many times, Clyde, that we learn it. We know it by heart now.
No, it's a classic, if ever there was one. Mother and child reunion.
Byron said to Carlton Lee, Carlton, come set up a microphone inside here for Paul. We're doing this live. And then put a microphone inside there, in the booth, same place beside me, you know, and screen our Paul. And then Byron said to me, when we're ready, we say yes. And him say, what are the grand for introduction? And looks down and say, you know, we're about the introduction now. We have the introduction long time.
Yorks, boy. Yorks.
Clyde, at this point, I'm not going to say nothing more. Play Mother and Child reunion.
Mother and child reunion. Jackie Jackson. Oh, God have mercy.
Clyde, to this day, Paul Simon cannot get over the introduction of what Hux play. Him beg Hux to teach him to play that. And Hux said, no, man, you can't learn this. And you see when Paul do this one cut, you know. And then Byron and Carlton Lee say, all right, one more. Paul jump up and say, no, that's it. No more. No.
No, you know,
And dance.
No,
The
you
man,
know,
no.
Sir Jackie, we have to beg if you come back again next week, you know, if possible, you know, because the story, we don't reach nowhere in the story yet, you know.
No, that not the end. We're not touching Bob Marley yet and the thing there. We're not reaching Marley yet, you know.
No, listen, this story, because remember now, you know, and it's not that Jackie Jackson is sitting on his hands now and not creating music. Him still create music, you know.
Yes, man.
After all of this, that we hear, and this is just a small fraction, because remember, you know, Jackie was musical director for Toots Hibbert.
Yeah, we're not touched Toots yet. We're not gonna tip top Miss P yet. We're not gonna Lexicon yet. We're not gonna Gibbo yet. We're not reach nowhere.
We don't reach with Jackie Jackson. We don't reach nowhere. I want though to play a little bit of something that Jackie Jackson is doing now. You know, just let's look a tip, because we have to come back, you know, Sir Jackie. We have to come back.
Anytime, Clyde.
No, we have to come back, because this thing is it's unreal, you know.
But you see the problem, you know, Clyde. It never ending, you know. So we have a problem there.
No, but these stories, the problem is, Lloyd, that these stories are not being told. That's the biggest problem, you know.
Absolutely.
And
That's the
we
problem,
we
yeah.
as Jamaicans, I don't think we understand the value. I mean, economic too and financial of telling these stories. What Jackie Jackson is talking about, you know, and it's a privilege that we can have him, is the story of one of the most important music forms in modern popular culture. And he's just talking about it because he was an integral part of it. And him just giving you the story. Can you imagine how many people across the world want to hear the story and don't get a chance to hear them? So make us just hear a little piece of what's new coming from Sir Jackie. Freedom Street. We remember Ken Booth doing this thing, right?
Yes, that was done for Leslie Kong, you know.
That was you were on that song, right?
Yeah.
Freedom Street.
But Jackie,
Yeah.
someone sent me this track a couple of weeks ago. Yeah, Obesa.
Yes.
And I've been asking myself ever since I got it, two questions. You know, who's the vocalist singing, and Obesa. I would love to know a little bit more about. You know, because I got this track a couple of weeks ago. You know.
Yes.
You're not
Let
being
me-
mischievous here, Lloyd. With
No, I'm not being. I'm not.
No,
being
you want to know
serious.
Obesa.
I'm just
Okay.
seeking. Yeah, I want to know.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to know more. Yeah.
All right. We guys, Paul Douglas,
Uh-huh.
the entire Meters band, we have been on the road for 52 years. 52 years. And with the passing of Toots, we decided that we are going back on the road, but under a different banner. We are not going out there as the Meters.
As the Maytals, right?
Yeah, we're going out there as Obesa, and Obesa is part of
Rockabesa.
Rockabesa. Yes,
Ah,
that's what we wanted to call it, Rockabesa. But there's
Okay.
and something
There's a
named
band by that
Rockabesa
name,
before. Right? So we say
Yeah.
Obesa. So it's us. It's we same one, Obesa. This
oh,
we decided to do over this song according to what is going on now.
mhm.
You know, and then we hunt down the lead vocalist is Roger Mendes. He's been on the cabaret
Oh.
circuit.
Roger.
Roger from Montreal.
I know Roger.
Listen,
I know Roger.
I'm getting a
Mr.
wrap up
Energy.
signal. This is
Mr. Energy.
amazing. This is no,
Mr. Energy.
we're gonna have to beg you to come back, you know. We're gonna have to beg you to come back, Sir Jackie. We'll have to beg you to come back. Lloyd, we'll have to come bring him back. You know, this is musically speaking,
Yes.
Ah,
So we're going out as a
thank you.
Besa next year.
thanking the great Jackie Jackson, giving us some stories. Lloyd Stanberry, who co-hosted with me today. And of course, you have so many people we need to thank. Kevin Williams. We need to thank Sean Ferguson. We need to thank Danelia Doyle. And of course, my 90%, Maxine. Yes. So I have to give her credit. And my sister was here with me today, Shireen. They call her the Bat or Rat Bat. Well, thank you so much for being here. Musically speaking, we'll be back next week.